Hello, everyone, and welcome to Invitation to Puzzles, where today we have the start of a special little mini series. There's this thing called Sudokuvania by Skeptical Mario, and you can see some videos down in the link below if you want to see a full solve of that. I have this sort of first video up for free, and then supporters can see that. However, that puzzle is very hard. It took me about 20 hours, and it has a lot of steps that are very challenging. The M here has made a similar puzzle that has all of these linking grids and rules to discover and all of these sorts of things. Of course, I haven't solved the puzzle yet, so I can't say exactly what's going to be in here. But this is meant to be far more approachable. So if you liked the idea of Sudokuvania, if you like the idea of having like your own sort of like Metroidvania Sudoku puzzle, basically, then I'd recommend you giving this a try. So this is still rated at 3 stars on LMD, which is probably about as low as one could get for this kind of thing. So I'm going to solve this puzzle and put out videos in a series of me solving this puzzle. But if you want to solve it, what I'd encourage you to do is to click the link and solve it down, or click the link down below in the description and solve it. And if you get stuck on something, come find me when I'm at that part of the puzzle, and I will try to help guide you. If you just want to watch me solve the puzzle, that's totally fine too. So let's read the rules here. And let's try and understand what it is we're getting ourselves into. So having barely escaped a space pirate ambush, your damaged ship all but crash lands on an unexplored planet, Sudoku 45. With all your equipment scattered about after the violent entry, the ship's navigation system refuses to work, and you have nothing but instinct and puzzle-solving skills to get you back home. If you're playing this on Sudoku Pad, consider turning on the following settings for a better experience. And I did this beforehand, but draw arrows above lines, disable emoji replacement, test large puzzle UI. Okay, this puzzle was heavily inspired by Skeptical Mario's Sudokuvania, Digits of Despair. Consider checking it out if you have not. It's kind of funny because that one is very clearly Castlevania themed, and this one is very clearly Super Metroid themed, so we're really sort of spreading out the Metroidvania. This is a dynamic expanding puzzle. Selecting a cell will update this description with rules of that sector. Most of the grid is covered by fog. That's the gray stuff that you see. You can place digits in the fog if you know what they are, but otherwise avoid clicking on covered cells to not get spoiled by undiscovered areas or rules. Each sector is a complete Sudoku of its own. Areas may overlap, in which case the overlapping parts belong to both sectors, but digits entirely within one sector do not affect digits within other sectors. So we've done a few samurai puzzles on the on the channel before. If you've not seen one of those before where the digits overlap, I'll put a link in the description to one of them you might want to try. That'll only take you like 15 minutes or something, but just so you can practice this idea of digits not seeing each other across grids even when the grids overlap. In the top right corner is a list of learned rules. You may only use a clue if you have unlocked it in this list, even if you think you know how it works. You can click on any of the displayed rules to get a more detailed description here. Most sections have a boss. When you discover the boss, indicated by an emoji, use the link to the scepter's description to play the boss puzzle. Okay, I will note this large puzzle UI, it lets you do things like zoom, and also you can right-click to drag. And so those two I recommend using. So perhaps not a surprise. I'm going to get started near the only cells that I actually can see something in. But I'll go ahead and pause there. So if you want to get started and try it before you see me try it, by all means. But now let's try and give this a go. So this is Sector 01, ID by ship. The ship is somehow still intact after the rough landing. You seem to have landed in a lush forest. Better assess the damage and find your bearing. This is a 6x6 Sudoku puzzle. Place the digits 1 through 6 in each row, column, and box. So unlike a usual, boy, that flashing is going to drive me nuts. You probably won't see it, but oh no, I feel like that's happening way too often. I don't know exactly what to do about it though. Maybe if I close my other Chrome window, let's see if that makes it happen less. Maybe that'll free up some memory or something. It at least hasn't happened in a little bit. Okay, we'll try it. Might have to reset my laptop if all else fails. So unlike a conventional 6x6 Sudoku puzzle, it would seem that in this 6x6 Sudoku puzzle, oh no, it's still happening. We have our boxes being 2x3s vertically instead of horizontally. All right, I'm going to restart my laptop just to see if this helps. So I'll be right back. All right, so we have this 6x6 grid here, presumably. Although notice it is a 6x6 where the boxes seem to go vertically instead of horizontally like they traditionally do. This is Sector 1. The ship is somehow still intact after the rough landing. You seem to have landed in a lush forest. Better assess the damage and find your bearings. This is a 6x6 Sudoku. Place the digits 1 through 6 in each row, column, and box. So this box needs a 2, and that 2 has to go there. Okay, and I could sort of draw on top of this, but I probably shouldn't, just because of these things. Okay, so this digit now, I need to ask what it is, and it's not 1, 2, 3, 4, or 6. So this is a 5. And now these are a 4 and a 6. I don't know what order. Notice I write these sort of center marked here to say these are a 4 and a 6 in some order, but I don't know what order. But this row here, it's got a 2 and a 3, and this 3 tells me that that's the 2 and that's the 3. There's a little circle here that means I don't know what. Let's see. I was thinking that was going to be a boss, but I guess it's not a boss. The 2 over in this is going to end up there. Let's see. 3 I don't quite know about. It keeps showing me rules for... I guess technically I can look at the rules, I suppose, because I'm now touching this, but it's not really what I'm interested in at the moment. The 3 over here goes here. Again, just by that sort of thing. So now that's a 5. These are a 1 and a 4 in some order. But importantly, that 1-4 pair... I know this is a 1 and a 4 in some order, so it's a 1-4 pair is what we'd call it. So this over here is a 6 and a 4. Let's see. These are 4, 5, 6. And these are 1 and 3, just to finish out this column. But this 3 tells me that that's the 1 and that's the 3. These over here are 1 and 6 in some order. Let's see. We're meant to pretend we don't know what the white dots mean, I believe. And who knows, maybe they have tried to throw us off by making it so we don't actually know. I see that this is a 3 for this grid. Coming over here, let's see the... gardens here just oh, there we go. Click here to go to the boss puzzle. Wait, aren't I supposed to wait? Sorry, let me go back and read exactly how the boss puzzles work. Relap. Right is the list of learned rules. Most sectors have a boss. When you discover the boss cell, use the link to play the boss puzzle. Okay, so I should not do that yet, and we have not learned any rules. As of yet. Okay, I can actually make this. Oh, no, that's maximum zoomed in, so I can't make it any more zoomed in than that. Okay, so, right. I'm silly. This is the digits 1 through 6 because it's a 6x6, but now this square is part of a 9x9, so therefore that digit needs to be a 9 because there's nowhere else I can put the 9. And now I have some sort of chicanery. And now... using this 9x9, this 1 looks up into here, so I can do that. So here I'm doing the overlapping grids. stuff. Now that one actually looks up into this grid. We found our lost scanner. So there we go. Digits separated by a white scan dot differ by exactly 1. So this is what you would expect if you had done much variant Sudoku before. Wait, except... Isn't this already impossible? Feels like this is already impossible, doesn't it? Because this certainly isn't a 7 or a 9. I thought my logic on this 9 was good. Wasn't the 9 even what made the scanner appear? No, but the 9, it did give me this over here. Oh, no, this is in a different box. Sorry. I understand now why I am screwing this up. This is in the 9x9 grid, and in the 9x9 grid, this is a box. So this cell doesn't see the 7 or the 9. So I just know this is a 7 or a 9. I just don't know which. I do know what this digit is, though. In the 6x6 grid, this is a 2. So these are, these are a 4, 5, 6. Let's see. This is a 4, 5, or 6, but it's not a 6. So this is a 4 or a 5. Let's see. We can work back over here because there is a white dot sort of running off into this direction. Is this a 9x9? This is a 9x9 grid, but I only overlap by this many cells. I do see that this digit's a 2, though, just by Sudoku. The 2 goes there. Okay, and so now that this is a 2 and we've got these white dots, we're going to have to go up because I could do 2, 1, but now this would be another 2, and in this 9x9 puzzle that I'm looking at now, that would not work well. So instead, this goes 3, 4. And do notice this 4 doesn't see this cell because they're in different grids. However, it does see that cell because this is a 3x3. So that 4 makes that a 5. And we can go back and mark those aren't 5 because it does see those. Okay, this cell by the 6x6 grid is a 1 or a 4, but by the 9x9 grid it's not a 4. So this is a 1 and that's a 4 and that's a 1. Note that Sudoku Pad normally will sort of scan and like highlight in red center marks, which are not possible. It's not doing that because it doesn't know all of the different grids. It's quite annoying to enter that, so I do not blame the setter for not sort of having entered all of that separately. Okay, so these are 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's see. Okay, so over here, I know these don't include a 3, 4, or 6. Okay, so perhaps a useful observation to note is that every pair of white dots, every pair of cells on a white dot need to have an odd digit and an even digit on them. And so the even digit is usually the more restricted one only because there's 4 even digits and 5 odd digits. And in this case, I can't put a 4 or a 6 on it. So there's no 4 or 6 in this pair. I can't put a 2 on it because if I put a 2 in either of these cells, I'm not going to make this 6, 7, 8, 9 work out well. So that means the digit that is on here is an 8, which means that these are from 7, 8, 9. Now, this digit's certainly not a 9, I'm prepared to say, because if it were a 9, both of those would, in fact, all 3 of these would be 8s, which would be too many 8s. certainly means neither of these is an 8. By the way, this corner mark, whenever I put it, the corner mark just means one of these two cells is an 8, is all I'm saying. Okay, so this could... Okay, well, this one's never a 9 for the same reason, just as I sort of try and figure this out. If this is a 9, both of those would be 8, and that's two 8s in the same column. Okay, so these are, in fact, a 7-8 pair, meaning it's a 7 and an 8 in some order. So no 7s down here. Makes those a 6, 9. And now, because those are a 6 and a 9, these are a 7 and an 8. Okay, and now this number is consecutive with 7 or 8, but it's not equal to 7 or 8. So that means this number is a 6 or a 9 over here, which does mean that this digit, which I have to keep in mind what the boxes are, because I'm going to keep getting screwed up by this. This digit's in a different box. So it's the other number that's consecutive with this 7, 8. This is that 7, 8 again. Oh, but speaking of the 6 or 9 business, that 6 sees this cell in this 9 by 9 grid. So this is a 9, which makes that an 8 and a 7, and makes that a 7 and a 6. Makes that a 9. Okay, 9, 8, 7. This number needs to be a 6. Okay, now this number needs to be a 5 and a 4. Let's see. These numbers are a 1, a 2, and a 5. That's the 5 just because of that 5. So these are a 1, 2 pair. I don't think I know the order yet for that. Okay, 7, 5, and 4. We've got in here... Okay, so what is left in this world of this box? Is that what I want to ask? I guess I know by Sudoku there's a 4 in these cells somewhere. Is that what I'm excited about? Maybe I should just be excited about this. This is 3 dots that are consecutive that don't contain a 5 or a 6. So they're either from 1, 2, 3, 4, or they're exactly 7, 8, 9, which would definitely put an 8 there, a 9 there, and a 7 there. It's not quite good enough. I can't fill in these two, can I? I don't think so. I just know that there are 4 and a 6 in some order, but they don't actually share a grid with anything. Okay, I'm just going to write in what these can be. And then actually think about what they can be. 4, 5, 6, 7. It can't be 8 or 9. Okay. This one can't be an 8 because I could not go up to 9 or down to 7, because if I went down to 7, I would go I'd go down to 6. 3 would be fine if it went 3, 2, 1, at least in principle. I do know that if I look at just this sort of chromosome-shaped arrangement of dots, whatever this digit is, I'm just going to mark it. It's consecutive with 2 digits. Okay, so it's not a 1 or a 9 is one consequence of that. But the other is it's consecutive with 2 digits, and that means that this is not a third different digit that it's consecutive with, because integers aren't consecutive with 3 different digits. And so this digit is definitely the same as that digit. So I'm going to mark that with X's. But now the same thing is true of this digit. These are the 2 digits that X is consecutive with, and therefore this digit is the same as that digit. Oops. So that does mean, since these 2 digits show up in the middle of a string of dots, that does mean this digit's never a 9, because if this digit were a 9, well, 9 is not consecutive with two different digits. So this is a 1, 2, or a 3. And this, even if this were a 3, you could go 3, 4. Well, this digit's, well, I guess you know that these two are consecutive even. So this is a 1, 2, 3. So this definitely is not an 8 or a 9. And in fact, I actually know that this digit isn't a 1, and because it would involve two 2s in the column or two 2s in the box. And likewise, I know this digit isn't a 1 because of the same reason. And so I can remove 1 from all of these cells. So we've got a bunch of 2 3s. Okay, and so these are a 1, 4 down here, because this is either a 2 or a 3, and a number that's consecutive with those. That's not itself a 2, 3. Okay, so now the rest of this box, just for the record, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. That one I know is not a 1 because I've got a 1, 2 pair living over here. I also have an 8, 9 looking at this cell, so this one is a 1. And that 1 is going to sort out everything, because now that's a 4 and that's a 1, which makes that a 3 and a 2, which makes that a 2 and a 3. Let's see. Okay, so that seems like a positive. Okay, so I know there's a 7 in one of these two cells just by Sudoku. I don't know if I should mark that or not. I know there's a 1 up here by Sudoku. I don't know if I should mark that or not. I do know this triple, because this triple, if I look at it, I've used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 because, oh, I guess I already knew this triple, even just by the fact that this was a 6 by 6 grid. I already knew these were a 7, 8, 9 if I had paid attention. I didn't, clearly. Okay, so I think it's probably worth remarking that these numbers I know are at least 5. And I actually also know there's not a 9 on this. I know there are at least 5, by the way, just because they see 1, 2, 3, 4 in the column. But I can't put a 9 in either of these cells because it would go with an 8, and then that cell would not have a number that I could put in it. So I can at least remove that out of it. Which then will also let me say this cell's not an 8. Because if this were an 8, one of these two would have to be a 9, and neither of them can be. Okay, this number, on the other hand, just by the column, it's not 1, 2, 3, 5, or 6. So this is 4, 7, 8, or 9. Again, you're never putting a 9 in the middle of a string of dots. I can't put an 8 here either, because if this were an 8, it would make one of those be 9, and neither of them can be because of the same digit in the middle of some dots problem. Because if this is a 4 or a 7, let's see, 7 feels hard to me. Yes, 7 doesn't work for a cute reason, which is to do with these 8 9s. If this was a 7, one direction or the other, I feel like I did this not as efficiently as the setter intended, but we'll fake it. If this was a 7, one of these would then have to go 8 and then 9. But conveniently, these 8 9s down here in this box say that doesn't happen. So actually, this is a 4. Which now indeed makes this have to be a 5 because it's a 5, 6, 7 that's consecutive with a 4. And so those go 3 and 2. By the way, periodically as you're doing this, I recommend checking that you have not screwed up anything, because if you click the check button, it will let you make sure that you haven't done anything. So if you're doing this and playing along, I recommend doing that. Okay, we have unlocked a boss, so I'm going to make that the next video. So I hope you're enjoying everything so far in this. And we'll be back next time with more of the Super Sudokoid. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.